You are in for a treat today. When I coach guys, one of the things that I always get is, Pablo, what do I say? And especially the thing that they want to know specifically, what do I say to get her to like me? Because if you just Google and like anything you're Googling just boils down to one thing. How do I get women to like me? Now, if we were to work together one-on-one, I would teach you the process and how everything works, the science and psychology behind it. But sometimes you just want to know what to say. You don't want to go through all that. You don't want to learn anything. Just be like, yo, what do I exactly say to get her to like me? Now, the idea of like magic words to get a woman to like you don't necessarily exist. However, that's what we're going to try to do today on today's episode, where I'm going to give you 21 things you can say to flirt with women and get them attracted to you. Now, these are things that you can say if you're in a relationship, things you can say if you're single, or if you just want to banter with someone. Either way, they've been used, they've been tested, they work, and I want you to use them. With that said, let's get into it, baby. Welcome back to the Red Velvet Podcast. What's happening, Captain? I'm your host with the most, Paulo Rosario, and it's so nice to see you back here. Welcome to March. We are in the third month of 2024. And how's yours going so far? And for me, it is going well. Me personally, I have gone through a little bit of my challenges at the beginning of the year, but I'm telling you one thing, that I am intent on not making this year look like last year. You see, I have this journal, and in this journal, it has these sections that tells you what did you do on that same day, the year before and the year after. And something happened last year that I was looking through the calendar, or rather through the journal, and I saw that I was in the same position that I was for the last 2 years. And I was like, hell no, no, this is not gonna be year 3. And so, trust me when I'm telling you, I'm out here moving, I'm shaking, I'm doing my healing, taking risks, I'm doing big things in order to ensure that. Because I want to grow, man. That's the thing about me, I want to grow. And for me, if I'm in the same place I was last year, Pablo, did you really go hard? Did you really go after it? Or did you kind of take it easy? I'm the type of person that I don't like to give myself many excuses. And yes, some people say oh, Pablo, being too hard on yourself, which I can be, but it's just that drive, it's just that demanding of excellence of yourself. You know what I mean? I think that is what makes anybody great. And so, in that, one of those things I want to improve upon is my coaching. And the way I define my coach is definitely by the impact. It's by the impact that I have on people. However, I'm the competitor. I'm a competitor. And so in my head, I'm like, listen, I want to be able to help people better than anybody else. I want to be able to create such an impact and do it so deeply and so quickly that nobody else can see it. I'm trying to be the Michael Jordan of coaching. Right now, Tony Robbins is up there, and so I'm trying to knock him out. I've been to a Tony Robbins event, and that man is a master. It shows a man has been at this for decades. So I got a while to go, but doesn't mean I'm gonna stop climbing that mountain. And so one of the things that I wanted to do, and one of the things that I wanted to start doing, is to recognize the moments when a person needs to be taught versus told what to do. Because to teach someone, it's like they say, you give a man a fish to eat for a day, and you teach a man to fish and he eats for a lifetime. Now, there's a time and a place for that, absolutely. But what I'm starting to realize is that sometimes you have to give a man a fish to make him believe that it's possible. You see, in order for learning to happen, I believe, is that first there needs to be a belief change. You get what I'm saying? The person has to believe that, first off, what they're trying to achieve is possible. Number 2, that they can do it, that they can make it happen. And so once you do those things, seeing is believing, and it makes the learning a whole lot easier. This makes people hungry for wanting to learn. And so what I was thinking as far as this episode, why not do that? Why not, give you guys the goods? Why not give you the gold, so to speak? And what I was thinking was all right, well, what's a topic here that a lot of guys want to know about? And it's typically flirting, actually. A lot of guys have questions like, how do I start a conversation, or what do I do on the first date? But if you boil it down to this, it's usually simply how do I get her to like me? That's simply every question. How do I create a good first date so she likes me and goes out with me again? Another question is oh, well, what do I say to start a conversation so she likes me and keeps talking to me? You get what I'm saying? And so, yes, I can go into a whole detail about how to flirt, how to create attraction. And by the way, if that's something that you need help with, holler at your boy. I got a link down in the show description where if you're looking for support and you want help implementing whatever I'm about to teach you, or just how to flirt in general, you want one-on-one help, holla at your boy. I'm here for you. I will take care of my people. That's how I work. I'm gonna take care of my people. And so with that said, for this episode, I was thinking, you know what? Why not, instead of trying to teach the whole dynamics of flirting, which I don't know if I have yet. I feel like maybe I have. If not, I definitely will. But let me just tell you what to say. That way you can go out there, use these things, flirt with women, create attraction, and get results. And what I'm about to show you is 21 things you can say to flirt with women, to create banter and attraction. Now, these 21 things I'm about to share with you are not just stuff I pulled out of my ass. These are things that I've personally said myself and it's worked. These are things that a client of mine have created and it's worked for them as well. And so what you're getting is tested stuff, not just like hypothetical stuff. This is stuff that works. Now, let me just tell you this. Now, first, let me just make this little distinction. Just be very clear on something. That what creates attraction is not the actual words. What you're about to hear is not the actual words that get her to like you, that creates that attraction, that fun between you and the woman that you're talking to. What actually creates it is the energy behind them, the intention, the connotations behind it, the playful nature behind it. You get what I'm saying? That's what makes it happen. And so when you say these things, what's more importantly than anything else is that you say these playfully. You say these just to have fun and spice up the conversation. The second most important thing for you to remember is, even though we are doing this because we want to create attraction, we want to flirt and whatnot, you have to say them with a detached attitude, meaning that you don't care whether or not, you end up getting her. Because if you say things to get a reaction, women can sense that. Women can sense that. Makes you come off needy, makes you come off, low value, so to speak, or whatever. It pretty much gives all that needy energy. And so you want to say these just to throw and go, just to say and have fun. And my recommendation is to practice them with everyone. Don't just say them with pretty women that you like. Say that with everybody. Say that with your boys, your friends, women that you're not attracted to. Why? Is because now you're developing a skill. And now you're not using a trick. Now these are becoming part of your personality. You get what I'm saying? And these things work better when it's just part of your personality. You just want to be that guy who's, hey, I'm funny with everybody, versus I'm just being funny like this because I'm trying to get you. You see, that's a different vibe, and that's not genuine. We want to be genuine when we talk women. So, with that said, let's get into it. I got a lot. I got 21. So we can get into it. And I'll give a little bit of context and maybe a little bit when to use them and how it works. A little details to make it great, so that way it works out. So let's get into it. We got a lot. So let's start with the very first one. Very first one, super easy, is that you look at her and you go, I can tell already, you're trouble. And so calling a woman trouble, it's flirting 101. It's flirting 101. And it works because trouble is like bad boy, is like taboo. It's like, oh, we're not supposed to be doing this. And if she's a person that you're supposed to kind of stay away from, it makes it hot. You get what I'm saying? So that's number one. Number two, that's it. I thought you were cool, but I guess you're not. I want a divorce. I want my CDs back, and I'm taking the puppy with me. And this uses something called role reversal, where you're playfully breaking up, where you're the one doing the breaking up. And actually, no, it's called disqualification. So it's a technique called disqualification, where you kind of find a reason to disqualify yourselves from being partners. And so when you say you want a divorce, it's kind of extreme, but it's funny because it assumes you guys already were partners. And saying you want your puppy and your CDs back, these are funny things that people kind of debate over divorce. It kind of adds to the moment. Number three, what starts with P and ends with orn? Popcorn, perv. My gosh. So this is a joke where essentially you kind of set up to make it look like she has a dirty mind. You're calling her out on it. So that's a nice little funny one. Next one. Nice girls like you shouldn't hang out with guys like me. Now again, this is another form of disqualification where you're kind of positioning yourself as the bad boy. And essentially when you tell someone they can't have something, it kind of makes them want it. So that's a good one right there. Another one, I've used this one, I like this one, where you go, note to self, do not date this woman, and then pretend to make a note about it on your hand. And this one again works because it shows that you were thinking about it, but then all of a sudden you're like, you know what, I don't want to date her. And typically, women are, I'm making a generalization here, but for the most part, guys are trying to get at them. And it's not too often where a guy says, you know what, don't date this woman. So if you say it playfully, it kind of throws a wrench in everything. That's a pretty cool one. Number 6, I'm too high maintenance for you. And it's lovely because being high maintenance is like a bad thing. But one, you own it. Number 2 is that you are pretty much, you're just doing the job for her. And like, listen, you don't want none of this. You don't want none of this. And it's one of those things where you're setting it up where you're something she can't have. That's how you're positioning yourself in a playful way. And whenever you do that, that creates a challenge. That makes people want to come and get to know you. Number 7, hey, you can't tell me how to live my life. And so you would say this whenever like she tries to get bossy with you. And sometimes when we get bossy, it's a form of flirting. And so something like, oh, you're trying to control me. No, just realize she's flirting, homie. And then what you do in return, you go, hey, you can't tell me how to live my life. And that creates a little playful tension. So that's a good one to say. Number 8, which is, I can't take you anywhere. Now this one, I love it because you can use it in nearly any scenario. I mean, you just pretty much gotta wait till she does something where she's kind of like a goofball, or maybe she does something that's like playfully embarrassing, and you just be like, you know what, I can't take you anywhere. Like, you're just out of control. And that, again, that's just another fun thing to say, where it makes it seem like, listen, we're cool. Like, it already assumes that we're cool, but you're on thin ice with me. And so that dynamic, it makes it fun, because then the opposite is like, oh, well, why can't you take me anywhere? Or like, yeah, anybody could take me anywhere. Or it sets it up where she's like, you know what, I don't want to go anywhere with you anyway. And so boom, that just sets up the stage for a playful challenge. Number 9, hey, don't look at me in that tone of voice. And this is a great play on words. It shows that you're witty, and it creates like a little bit of a play fight. And play fighting is a great way to create attraction. Like, if you've ever seen any rom-com, typically the 2 main characters, they usually fight. They usually fight at the beginning and then get together at the end. And so that's a great way to play fight. And you can use this pretty much almost any time. And it's funny because she could be saying something like normally, and you could just be like, hey, don't look at me in that tone of voice. And it's funny because she can either be like, I wasn't saying anything. And I'm like, exactly. That's the problem. Listen, I can't deal with you. Like, now I can start to play like that. And again, it's fun. It's fun. Let's keep it going. Number 10, I like this one. My mom warned me about women like you. And now there's so much things going on. Well, first off, women like me. What do you mean a woman like me? And the secondly, that you warned me, like, why, and why would you stay away from me? And so that creates that intrigue, and creates that like, oh, that like, oh no, like, nah, I'm get next to me. I'm not bad, or maybe I am bad, and you should stay away from me. Either way, it's a win-win, because you can either go the good way, where she's like, well, nah, I'm not bad to be around, versus, oh, yeah, nah, women, you should stay away from like me because I'm a bad girl, or like, oh, I'm a bad woman, like, I'm not good for you. Now it just works like that. You get what I'm saying? Oh, hold on, we got a little call here from the wifey here. Hello?
Give you the charcoal pill. If you go in the kitchen where the big jar of ghee is, up on that shelf, there's a blue bottle that says Metchem. That's it.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate it.
Have you been going since?
No, I have not.
Okay, well, this will totally, like, nip it in the butt. You won't have any of, like, the feeling of it within 20 minutes.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Are you okay?
I'm good. I'm just recording the podcast.
Oh, shit, I'm sorry.
Nah,
Okay.
don't worry. No, now everybody around the world is going to hear about my stomach problems. So it's going to be fine.
Just cut it out. Cut it out.
Yeah, so it's all good.
All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
All right, talk to you later. Bye. But that was funny. All right, so back at it. Where were we? Great. So yeah, so my mom warned me about women like you. And you can say this when she maybe does something spicy, or maybe you can do it when she shares like an extreme opinion on something that's not too crazy, but you can use it during that sense. It's just fun that she called in. I don't know if I'm going to keep that or we'll see how it goes. So it's just hilarious. So you just heard a conversation between me and my lady. She's always looking out for me. I've had a little rumbling in the tummy today. She's just making sure that I'm okay. So get you a woman like that who calls you in the middle of your podcast and make sure you're okay. All right. The next one. Oh, this one is universal. 11. This one's universal. It's where you go, oh, I see. You're one of those. This one, boom. Oh my God. You can nearly use it for anything. And it doesn't matter if she's like, oh, I like apples. I have a cat. I'm 5'3". I'm blah, blah, blah. I like football. I like this team. You go, oh, you're one of those. And it essentially sets up, oh, one of those. Well, what's one of those? Intrigue. And then also sets the stage for you to debate, to laugh, to be like, nah, I can't. Like, you're one of those fans? Nah, you know what they say about them? Those guys are crazy. I can't hang out with you. And so that is a fantastic one that you can use in nearly any situation. That's a great one. Next one. Oh, it's hey, let's slow down. I've been hurt before. Now, this is fantastic when she kind of tries to hit on you, where she either touches you or tries to make a pass at you. And what this does, this reverses the roles where you act like the person who's being hit on, and you're telling like, hey, listen, let's slow down. I don't want to go too fast. I've been hurt before. And it's just funny because that's not something that guys typically say. And so this adds wit, this adds laughter to it. So that's another good one to use. What we got? Number 13, which is, hey, stop undressing me with your eyes now. Now, again, that is another fantastic one. You can use that, I would say, when would you use that? I would use that, you can use that at the beginning. If you catch her staring at you, you can just walk them like, say, hey, listen, just real quick, just stop undressing me with your eyes. It's just really making me uncomfortable. You just say that, it's really funny if you catch her staring at you. And other times, like right in the middle of the conversation, like where you guys are talking, you can stop talking, look at her, and she looks at you. And maybe it kind of makes it seem like you're about to kiss, and then you go, you have to stop undressing me with your eyes. It's really making me uncomfortable. And so you see how like it's funny now, it kind of breaks the tension? So that's one thing that you can do there. So let's keep going. So number 14. Oh, this is a great one. Where you go, hey, I'm a person. I'm not a piece of meat. And this one, it's funny, it was invented because I was outside of a bar in LA, and we were outside waiting for an Uber. And a woman that I talked to earlier in the night, she comes out and she's like, hey, red velvet, because I was wearing a red velvet jacket and red velvet. And I'm like, hey, don't just scream at me like that. I'm a person. I'm not a piece of meat. I have a name. And it was just so funny because, and then it just makes it seem like she was treating me like a piece of meat, not just me just standing up for myself. And so anytime that, she, kind of like objectifies you, you can say, hey, I'm a person. I'm not a piece of meat. And again, it creates that challenge. And if you notice too, that a lot of these flirting lines or whatever you call them, they all revolve around creating a challenge. Something that's fun, a fun challenge, and creating a playful tension and back and forth. And once you just understand these concepts, like if you run this back, you'll notice that almost every one of these has that theme, where they either create a playful challenge, where they playfully assume that you guys are or were together, or 3, where it's the type of thing where you're creating some type of tension. You're kind of play fighting. So if you keep those 3 things in mind, I'm sure you can come up with your own. So watch how these other ones have that. So where are we? We're at number 15. This one's a little bit forward, where you go, hey, how's the sexiest woman in the world doing today? Now this one is a little bit more like you need confidence to do this out, because this is a bold one. This is a bold one, but when delivered great with eye contact, this is money. Now this one, it is a little bit different from what we've been talking about, because this one, you're not creating a fight. You're not creating a challenge. You're just putting it out there. But the reason why this one works is because it is so bold that it's like, ooh, like I respect the confidence. So the thing that makes this work is not even the line, but it's more of the confidence behind it. And that is what, creates the passion, that, ooh, okay, daddy, all right. You get what I'm saying? All right, so number 16, you go, there's just something about you. Now, this one could be said one of 2 ways. So you could say in the way I just said it, which is more complimentary, and which lets her know like, hey, like he likes me, he sees me. Or you can say in a way where you're just playfully just teasing. You're like, there's something about you. You're a little odd. But I like that. It's not bad. It's not bad. And so that, again, I like that one, because with that one, you are essentially, you're noticing something secret about her and you're calling it out. And everybody loves to be seen. Everybody loves to be like, oh, he really sees me, he understands me. And so that's a great way to do it. You can do it one of those two ways. That could either be playful or it could be just really sincere. You're like, you know what? There's something about you. And I don't know what it is, but I like it. And that's like, ooh, especially again with the confidence, you lower the voice. Come on now. Ooh. Next one. Also, this one, I admit, this one I did not come up with, but I saw it on Instagram one time and I was like, it was so good. I have to keep it. I have to keep it. And essentially this, you essentially go, wait. What's your sign? Yeah, that explains everything. And this one is just universal. Like this one, I'll keep in your back pocket if you run out of things to say. Like let's say she's coming at you, she's snapping you back and forth. I will keep this in your back pocket because it's one of those things where like you could just stop them in a conversation and you go, wait. Like, what's your sign? Yeah, no, that explains everything. And it's very similar to saying, you know what? I don't know about women like you. So pretty much you're being vague in an interpretation or assumption that you have about her. And then she's gonna be like, well, what does my sign have to do with anything? And oh, what does it explain? And it sets up the challenge again to either playfully defend herself and overcome the challenge, or be like, oh, what do you mean? Oh, no, well, what's your sign? Now you have to set up for a play fight. So those vague ones are money too. And especially when you attach it to their sign. Because signs, like, I feel like women are more into like astrology more than men are. And so doing something like that, chef's kiss. All right, number 18, we're down the home stretch. You look like the type to hang out at the library on Friday night. Now this one, it's great because it's so specific. And this actually takes a page out of comedy where you are essentially saying like, hey, you look like something, and the specificity behind it just paints a picture. And the fact that you're painting a picture just makes it hilarious. Like, yo, you look like the type of girl to hang out on Friday night at the library. And just the connotations behind that, essentially like, yeah, you're kind of like playfully calling her boring, but also playfully cute. So that's also it as well. And, it's good old fashioned playground teasing. That's what it is. Now, especially the key for this one in particular is the delivery has to be right. The delivery has to be fun. It has to be tongue in cheek. Like if you say like you're halfway serious, it won't come off even funny. So instead of being like, you look like the type, you look like the type of girl to hang out at the library on Friday night versus, man, you look like the type of girl to hang out at the library on a Friday night. Get out of here. Like you notice like the tone of voice is different. Now, the second one was a lot funnier, a lot more lighthearted, whereas the other one is like trying to get a point across. So that is what you want to do on that one. Okay, number 19 is an old school one. It's where she says something. Let's say she says something, you disagree with her, she tries to snap at you, and you go, what? You don't like the Yankees? Or you don't like this? You don't like strawberries? That's it, -2 points. And so when you do that and you minus and subtract points, it kind of sets the stage like, yo, you're on a point system with me. And if you get enough points, you win me over. You lose points, you lose me. And it positions you as a person like as a prize to win. And it sets it up again, especially if she likes you, to want to gain points. Because people like, it's a psychology thing. People like positive reinforcement and they want to avoid negative reinforcement. And so when they hear, oh, -2 points, it's funny because you're like, damn, I don't want to lose any more points. And so, even if she doesn't care, she's like, you know what? Here, I'm gonna throw this paper again. And you go, what? Another -4 points. Kind of like in Harry Potter where they go 10 points to Gryffindor. So like that, just a whole point system, it just sets up a fun game where now you can just set up the game like, all right, well, how do I win points? And then, or she could be like, you lost points with me. You're like, what? And now you're in a position where you're kind of vying for each other's, playful approval, if you will. You get what I'm saying? All right, number 20, the penultimate one. You go, oh, you're a spicy one, huh? I like that. Now, this is what I say when I ain't got no comeback. Sometimes the women, like, they just got me. I ain't gonna lie. Women, they have so much practice being flirty, banter, and you'll come across that one or maybe two that they just got it and they're just snapping back and forth. And you just might not be able to think quick enough in the moment. So at that point, what I always say in my back pocket is, oh, you're a spicy one, huh? I like that. And the reason why I like that is because, one, being spicy, you are framing it in a positive sense. You are like, hey, listen, the fact that you have an opinion, the fact that you kind of got a mouth on you, like I'm acknowledging that, and it's a good way. And when you say, I like that, you are acknowledging them for something that maybe other guys may be like, yo, oh, why you act like that? Why are you so mean? But you could be the different guy that's not backing down from a challenge. You're not the guy who's backing down from her doing her thing or her, trying to come after you. You're proving in that moment that, listen, that aggressive thing that you do, it doesn't scare me. In fact, I like it. Keep it coming. And when you say like, oh, you're spicy when I like it, let's just say keep that in your back pocket so you can use it just in case you run out of things to say. And then lastly, 21. We're at 21 flirty things you can say to flirt with and attract women. And it's a simple one where you go, hey, I don't know you. Don't touch me. I don't know you like that. And so it's simple. It's anytime a woman touches you, you just playfully just kind of like swipe her hand off and go, hey, don't touch. I don't know you. I don't know you like that. And it's great because, again, like so often, guys just allow women to touch them. But when you go, hey, don't touch me, I don't know you. You are, first off, being different from every other guy. Number two is that you're positioning yourself as the prize. Like, yo, you're not easy to win over. That it takes more than a pretty face to get with you. And again, it's just switching the roles. And that's what makes it fun. And again, as long as you do it playfully, like don't be full of yourself. Don't be full of yourself and be like, yo, don't touch me. Ew. Nah, don't be like that. Just be playful about it. If you're playful about it, she'll know that you're playing. And it's funny because that's something that usually men do not do. And so that's why it works and it sets you up as the prize. And it could be like, on the good end, on the positive end, it could set you up where she's like, well, I want to touch you. Well, let me take you out. Let me touch you. Like it could entice her to touch you more. Kind of like a reverse psychology thing. And so that's the 21. So that's 21. That's what I got for you. Now, again, I want you to use these because here's the thing. Here's the reality of them is that, number one is that the magic in these phrases are not the words themselves, but the energy behind it. As long as you're laughing, as long as you're playful with it, that is what is going to work. That's what's going to get women attracted, just the playfulness with it. Number two is do it with everybody. And I'm talking about flirt with the old lady at the cash register. Flirt with the barista that is taking your order. If it's a dude, say one of these lines to your dude friends or whoever. Reason why is because now you're getting more practice at it. When you get more practice at it, then you become more natural. Now, it doesn't seem like something you just say that seems out of your character. Like, no, it's just who you are. You banter with everyone. And by the time you do meet an attractive woman, you will have said this one phrase so many times that it will just come out automatic. You get what I'm saying? And so those will be my recommendations for you. And number one, again, do it playfully. That's the number one thing. We don't want to be serious here. We're not here to insult women. We're not here to, do anything like that. We're here to have fun. These are just ways to make conversations fun. So my recommendation, I guess I'll have this be my send-off. It's to, don't use these for the intention of like getting her. Like, yes, I know, like I said at the beginning, we want to flirt, but you're going to get much better results if you do these with the intention like, hey, I'm just saying this just to make the conversation fun. Whether or not I get you doesn't matter, but I'm saying this just to make the conversation fun. And so when you do that and when you say that and operate from that aspect, then you'll start getting better results. Because women, they flirt for fun. Like for them, it's a sport. They don't really do it to get anywhere. They do it just for fun. So if you take that same mentality, what's going to happen is she's going to be like, yo, he's fun to flirt with. He's actually pretty fun. I like him. I like to see him again. And then from then on, daddy-o, it's all gravy, baby. You guys are having fun. So, with that said, that's what I got for you today. The 21 things you can say to flirt and attract women. I hope you enjoy them. Go out and use them. And let me know how they work for you. Send me a DM on Instagram. I'm at pablo.j.rosario. Or send me an email. Let me know. Love to hear how these things worked out for you. And if you want help implementing these things, like, hey, Pablo, help me be a better flirt. I want to help. Listen, you can reach out to me. I have something in the description. We can fill out a form. And we could talk about working together if you want that kind of help. And so, other than that, thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I hope you go and use these things. Until next time, stay velvet. I'm Pablo. This is Red Velvet Podcast. Catch you on the next one. Later.